Hey guys, Coach Noah here. We're going to do some appointment setting tonight. It's October. It's October 24th, which means with 1 November being the last day of October production, we got 8 days, right? I promise you right now, regardless of where your activity level is, you can double the production that you've had in the last 24 days in 8 days. Who thinks they could either double or even triple the production that they've had in the last 3 weeks right now in the last week of the month? Be honest, like put it in the Zoom chat. Who thinks they can do it? Wow, three of you. Great. Love it. It's gonna be a long night, right? But guys, listen, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. We've all heard that. We know that, right? So why don't you start believing that you can? Because if you start thinking you can't, your action and your activity level is going to go burr, 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 and you're going to keep doing more of the same thing that you've been doing that's kept your activity level in the toilet versus saying, screw that. I'm not used to losing. I'm not used to not winning. I'm going to go change this thing right now, right? Ashley McClellan, that trying word, I hate that word, right? I'm not sure who your RVP is or who your field trainer, your coach is. Trying makes me want to throw up, right? Coach, I'm trying. No, don't try. Just go do. And it's not some weird like Star Wars Yoda thing. It's not. But it's right here, right? When thank you, I'm going to. I love that, right? So because people will say, "Oh, like hopefully or maybe if this happens." No. No. When? When this happens, I'm going to, right? Change everything. If you ever talk to yourself and it's not in an active voice, change it. Change it. And guys, if your people are texting you back and forth or you're communicating whatever, and they're saying like, "I'm trying, coach," no, like correct them. You have to change that. I promise you, or nothing's ever going to change. Yeah, we've all got this. Listen, guys, it's not a matter of if you're going to win in this business. It's a matter of when. That's the difference. Because if you never stop, you're going to win. I can't tell you when it's going to be, but it's going to happen. All right. So, a couple of things tonight. We're going to talk about some appointment setting. I want to go over some overcoming objections that naturally come out of appointment setting. I want to give you some links, right? So we're going to talk about Teachable because there are ways for you to self-study on this stuff. And then if there's any questions along the way, throw it in the Zoom chat. Somebody help me monitor Abby Schaff. I saw you on. So if you can help me kind of monitor, maybe pipe up and remind me if I miss some stuff. But first thing, and Justin, I appreciate it, man. So first thing I want to do is I want to show you guys Teachable because who in the chat right now or who on the call right now doesn't know what Teachable is? Is there anybody that does not know or is unsure what Teachable is? Put in the Zoom chat. Okay, that's enough, right? I saw at least one, so we're gonna go over that really quick. So here's Teachable. All of your trainers, not YouTube, right? Not YouTube. So this is Teachable, guys. When you get started, you'll have to create an account, and when you create your account, you'll have access to all of these things. Don't believe the hype, right? It's not like I've never done these before. We had to create a new link, and when we created the new link, everything got restarted. So I did all of these, several years ago, multiple times. But for those of us that are brand new, I want you guys to log into your Teachable account, click New Associate Orientation, and then when you do that, there's a spot in here that's dedicated to appointment setting. Okay. Is everybody seeing something that says course curriculum right now? Give me a yes in the Zoom chat, coach. Yes, yes. Perfect. All right. So when you scroll down, after you get through some of this role play stuff, right? Opportunity post is right there. These appointment setting audios, and then role playing the appointment setting, and then guess what? Scripts, right? Everything that you could ever possibly need is in Teachable, right? Now, I don't want you in the beginning, if you're working on your license, to stop working on your license and just do this, right? If you're in my base shop, you know that we use the rowboat analogy, right? So in the beginning, you need to row your boat with both hands, because if you only use one oar when you row a boat, guys, where do you go? Do you go forward? Do you go in a circle? Do you go backwards? Where do you go? If you're rowing with just one hand? Yeah, you just go in a circle, right? So if you're just going in a circle with field training, well, your boat will go one way. Or if you tell your coach, hey, I don't want to do any field training until I get my license and I really know what I'm doing. Does that sound like anybody? I've heard so many people say that. Well, they go in a row, right? They go in a little frenzy, and now the boat goes the other way. But it's not going forward, right? So, guys, in the beginning, you have to license and field train at the same time, or your boat will not move. You with me? Right? So, licensing and field training have to happen simultaneously. That is up to you as the new agent in terms of figuring out how you're going to balance that. Licensing happens on your time, field training happens on our time, right? So when we are together, we are field training. When you are on your own and you're unsure about what to do, that's when you go get your license. That's when you work on that curriculum. Everybody clear on that? All right. So appointment setting audios. This is where you self-study. Okay. So I would go in here, I would download these, get them, make them your music, right? If you have not figured out that you have to be constantly be filling your brain with good stuff in the beginning of the business and forever, I'm gonna help you fix it right now, right? If who put in the Zoom chat, who has a commute to work? Who drives like 30 minutes at least one way to work? Okay. A couple people, a couple of us. I had a 97-minute commute to work this morning. I thought I was going to choke somebody by the time I got to work. Somebody was going to die if they looked at me cross-eyed and I didn't have a cup of coffee. 97 minutes. Good God. I was angry, right? But I could have wasted 97 minutes just listening to some music or something. What did I do instead, right? So this is my time. I'm going to give you my 97 minutes on the way into work. Bible in a Day podcast. It's about 20 minutes, right? If you've never heard of that, I would look it up. So Bible in a Day podcast rolled immediately into Art Williams. God, family, business, right? So family was taken care of before I left for work. Bible in a Day podcast, Art Williams. Put Art Williams in my brain. Boom, right? Now I'm ready for the day. Art tells me three that got three never quit. Three that got three 10 times is 59,000 people. Three that got three 10 times is 59,000. Holy smokes. What could you guys do with 59,000 recruits? It's madness, right? But that's the power of multiplication, not addition, right? So that's how we roll around here. Three that got three never fail. From Art Williams into, guess what? Appointment setting, because I knew I was teaching this tonight. And guys, in the beginning, when I was literally doing that every day, you've got an hour one way and an hour back. I was recruiting in the morning, listening to Ian, and appointment setting on the way home, or vice versa. I don't care, or both. Right? My point is, you need to be filling your brain with either income producing activity training, or you need to be filling your brain with mindset things that are going to keep you like in the zone. Now, I don't expect you to be on constantly, but in a way, you kind of have to be. Art Williams said it best, right? You can be, anybody can be excited for a little while, a couple weeks, a month, 90 days, right? The people that can stay excited forever doing the monotonous and boring things over and over and over are the ones that are going to win. And when you start figuring out how to do routine things routinely, i.e. appointment setting, recruiting, field training, getting someone off to a fast start, routine things routinely start leading to massive activity. All right. So some of the routine things that you have to consistently do in this business, you have to recruit, you have to have massive activity. And then once you have those two things, you have to teach people how to set appointments, because if you recruit all of those people, but you never get them in the field, you never get them in their hot market, right? You're never going to show them any success. You're never going to show them how we can win and how we help people. And if you never show them that, they are not sticking around. Guys, listen to me. The very first appointment that I ever set was a buddy of mine. We sat down. Andy said whatever Andy said, right? Because it was 2 years ago. But come to find out, we compared their life insurance that they had, which was a company that rhymes with Shmoo Hey Hey, right? And I was like, there's no way. This is a great company. There's no way. I've been a USA member for like 30,000 years, right? There's no way we're gonna beat that. We smoked it. We smoked it. We got him and his wife and their 5 kids covered for less than what just he was paying for himself. And it was the exact same coverage. It was a 500,000, but it was 500,000 on him and his wife, and then 25 on all the kids. When before he was just paying for 500,000 on just him. Come to find out, whoever gave him that policy, or maybe he did it himself, I don't know, but it was renewable term and he didn't know. He didn't know. So when we went in there, doubled the coverage and added the kids and covered all of them and still saved him $20 a month, do you think I was in and ready to set more appointments? Or do you think I was like, I'll sit on the sideline? But had I never set that appointment and had I never seen that very first appointment, I probably would have never gotten off to the start that I did, nor would I have ever had such a deep found belief in this company. I would have been like, we're probably just another company. I'm sure we're good, right? But guys, so many of you, I promise you, have like dozens of people on your list, and you're prejudging the list and you're going, they don't need me, they're all set. Be honest. How many of you right now will be honest and say, that's me? Put it in the Zoom chat. Say, that's me. Put it in the Zoom chat right now. I want you to be honest, because this is about honesty, right? We got to be honest with ourselves or we're not going anywhere. Look at all of you guys right now saying, that's me. Imagine if I would have looked at my buddy and said, I know he's all set, right? Dude's super smart. We've taught each other about some of this stuff because we've been friends since West Point. We already kind of know some of this stuff. Had I just said, hey, he's good, he's all set, I would have robbed him. He'd be overpaying still, and his wife and kids would not be covered because the dude's cheap. There's no way he was going to spend more money. Guys, if we can save a client money on something they're already spending money on, and it's the same product or even better, how fast do you think they want to switch? I'll wait. Yesterday, right? I'm gonna teach you a little trick too. Some of you guys don't know how to wait for an answer. Did you hear me ask the question? I had a deliberate pause. It was like a pregnant pause, and then I reached for a drink. If I'm drinking, can I ask you another question? Start incorporating that. If you don't know how to wait for an answer, start incorporating some water. I promise you it'll change everything, because some of you talk too damn much. You got 2 of these and 1 of these for a reason. Ask questions and wait for an answer. All right. So, appointment setting. Why does it matter? Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. I didn't make it up, but every once in a while, I got some pretty good jokes. Ask my kids. I'm the dad joke special, right? So I want to show you this. This is an older slideshow, but it's a good one, right? I've used it a bunch of different times. So here we go. Road to 100,000. If I could teach you 2 skills that I promise you, if you master them, and I'm talking like master, you will make $100,000 online from home, and you can teach other people how to do it. Would you do the things I asked you to do? Yeah. The answer is yes, right? So guys, Andy asked me that exact same thing. He said, dude, if I told you to do 2 things and master them, and you'll make at least 100 grand online from home, would you do it? I said, yeah, why wouldn't I? You're my coach. Call a play, run it. Let's go. So I did, right? It was the appointment setting audio from Ian, and it was the recruiting presentation from Ian, because we had just come out of Relentless, and I didn't know what that meant at the time, but Ian had just sold his code. So Andy and Brittany only knew Relentless because that's where we came from. So who knows Ian Pruckner, right? I'm not personally, but who has listened to any of Ian's training, who's ever done any of that? Some of you, right? So if we're going to copy somebody, we're going to copy the dude who was the fastest to a million in his time, who created Andy and Brittany Onset and the Redline team, who are the fastest to a million in company history right now. If there's somebody to copy, wouldn't you want to pick the guys that were the fastest to a million ever? Because that's what I wanted to do. My entire mindset in the beginning was I want to sound just like Ian Pruckner with some Andy sauce. Because Andy's fun. Like, you got to admit, Andy is fun, right? So guys, like, if you can sound and just be like Ian and try to just like manifest Ian and then also have some fun like Andy, you're gonna be unstoppable, right? So look at this. Road to 100,000 with a 70% contract. 70% contract means on average about 700 bucks a client. Average life insurance policy is 84 bucks a month. It's $1,000 annually. You just made 700 bucks, right? You hit 3 clients a week. That's 2,100 in premium, or you made $2,100, right? So 3,000 in premium. Guys, that's 12,000 in personal premium a month. We're not talking about like ridiculous numbers here. This is completely doable. Some of us just make it way harder than it needs to be. There's 52 weeks in a year, guys. You just made 109 grand cash. Did I break that down for somebody? You've never seen that before? Some of you don't believe it's real because you've never broken down the math to make it even seem feasible. We just say 100 grand a year online from home, and we just sort of have this like mental block, and we go, that's impossible. There's no way. Unobtainium, never going to happen. Wrong. Wrong. Do the math. Break it down. Guys, what do we do with clients if they don't want to pay that much a month? You can say, hey, great, listen, Bob, I totally understand you don't want to pay $400 a month, but I mean, you would agree that if we were talking about like 12 bucks a day, you could probably figure something out. Am I right? He's like, yeah, I mean, hell, I spend 20 just on lunch every day. Like, great. So if we could just change your habits a little bit, I mean, God bless, we're already halfway there. Am I right? Oh, yeah. Man, I never thought about it like that. Perfect. That's my job. I'll do the thinking. Don't worry. Come on, guys. Look, this is not as hard as we make it out to be. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. God bless. God bless. So check it out. If this is the goal and we got 8 days until month end, how many people realistically, go back to your chicken list that we just talked about. How many people realistically do you think you could get in front of in the next 8 days with you and your trainer? And if you're already licensed, get yourself in front of 25. I like that, Justin. 3 a day. 3 a day. Who thinks that they could set 3 client appointments for every day of the week for the rest of the month before month end? I think I can, right? But more importantly, who on your team can you help set some appointments? Because guys, think about it. You're not alone, right? You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You have a team. You have a team, right? Go help all of them. Guys, if you've recruited 10 people this month down from you, if you go help all of them set 3 appointments, well, good God, you just set 30 appointments. That's more than 3 a day, right? So stop making this so hard and just like, let's just go get in front of some people, because your only job in the beginning is marketing. If you're brand new in the business, your job is to put your trainer in front of some people that you know and you love and that love you and are willing to support you and help you out. Remember that phrase, right? Could you just help me out? I just started a new job. I need to get some training in before the end of the month. If we could sit down with you and your spouse, make it more personal, right? It would just really help me out. As far as us getting together, when's better? Today or tomorrow? Tomorrow or Saturday? Weekdays or weekends? You got to write down yes, yes. Everybody do me a favor, write yes, yes on whatever notes you're taking right now. Yes, yes. Shailene, if your team isn't moving, you need a new team. You cannot move a dead body. Quit trying to push a noodle up a hill. We'll get back to that. But guys, your only job in the beginning is marketing. Okay. marketing. You have to get in front of people. What what do we say in the very, very beginning of a presentation? Have you ever heard of Primerica? No, but if I said like a good neighbor, you'd say what? It's because they spend $1 billion a year. Primerica doesn't, but we pay a lot to the field so that we don't have to because you're the advertising. You're the advertising, guys. Remember that. You're the marketing. Okay. So if you're the marketing, but you're not marketing anything and you're not showing value to anybody, are you going to stay in business very long? Mm-mm. I would say no. House car tree, we'll come back to that. I'm not worried about that right now. These are the easiest apps for promotions. If you've never seen this before, your own stuff counts. You and your spouse count. Guys, I'm I had like an epiphany moment for somebody today. And guys, who right now is in the business, is on this meeting and has not set a client kitchen table appointment with their spouse and their trainer? And be honest, please. Be honest. Be honest. There's 150 some odd people in this thing. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. This is an important. I need to pause this real quick. So think like think about this. Who would you guys say is your biggest supporter? Who is your biggest supporter? Okay. I've seen a very like a variety of answers. I've seen husband, I've seen spouse, wife. Those are all synonymous, right? I've seen family, parent. No, I like parents. Still single. Jason, I get it. If you're still single, dude, you still got somebody that supports you. Mom, dad, sibling, somebody. Somebody supports you. There's a best friend somewhere. There's a buddy that you played ball with back in the day. Somebody supports you, right? That needs to be the first person that you set an appointment with. I promise you, if you guys are not setting that appointment first, you're missing it. And field trainers, I'm talking to you. If you are not setting the very first client appointment with the person that your new agent and new recruit tells you is the most important person to them, you're missing it. Because when the time comes that your new agent has been on a Zoom, they've been sitting in front of people all day, they're not making any money yet in the very, very beginning because they're not licensed. If that person that is supposed to be their biggest supporter becomes their biggest detractor and starts beating them down, because it will happen, how long do you think that person is going to stay in the business? No. Amanda Yarborough, I want to bless your life really quick. If your husband doesn't think you need life insurance, when you talk to him about setting that appointment, it sounds to me like you're saying, hey, Jim, we need to sit down and talk to Nicole about our life insurance. And guys, if you're using any verbiage at all that sounds remotely like that to set an appointment, you're wrong. You're dead wrong. One, life insurance is like that much of what we do when you incorporate everything else. But two, your only job in the beginning is to ask for help. You guys with me on that? Think about personally. Like if somebody asked you right now, like, hey, Joe, dude, I'm working on this life insurance license, man. I really need to sit down and I need to talk to you and your wife about your life insurance. You're gonna go, ick. I'm busy. I'm all set. Sound familiar? Does that sound about right? Because that's probably the way most people in the beginning are going to talk about setting an appointment. That is not what we do. Guys, your job in the beginning is to ask someone to help you with some field training, right? Hey, Brooklyn girl, how you doing? It's been a minute. It's Noah. You good? Awesome. Hey, listen, I'm working on some licensing. I just got started with a new job. I need to sit down and I need to get in front of like 10 more families this week for my field training. Whenever we can sit down, let me know. And it would just really help me out. I need you and your husband for 20, 30 minutes on a Zoom call. If you can use it, great. If not, great. I would just really need you to understand more about what we're doing. So if you ever needed it in the future, you could give me some referrals. Sound good? Awesome. Hey, when's better for you guys? Today, obviously not at 9 o'clock at night, right? Like today or tomorrow? Tomorrow or Saturday? Make it relevant to whatever you're doing. And then if you get the objection of, oh man, yeah, I'd love to, but I'm so busy. I'm so busy. That's where just generally comes in and a firm answer close. Okay. So who knows the best way to overcome an objection? And if you've been around for more than 5 minutes, please don't answer. Let somebody new answer in the Zoom chat. What is the best way to overcome an objection? I'm reading the Zoom chat. Oh, nobody knows. Okay. Nobody knows. Sips drink. Yeah. Bless and release. I like that. Oh, Joe Pergola. Cheating. Cheating. Guys, the best way to overcome an objection is to never get it. It's a trick question, right? But on the off chance that you do get an objection, because it's going to happen, right? You have to affirm, answer, close. Affirm, answer, close. Write that down. If you don't know what that means, I'll walk you through it, right? Affirm, answer, close. The objection is, hey, I'm just too busy, man. I'll get back to you. Hey, Joe, dude, I'm with you, right? Like I'm busier than a one-legged man in a butt kicking contest. I totally understand. I've affirmed. Now we're on the same side of the fence, right? I've affirmed. Answer, but just generally on a normal week when you're not running around with your hair on fire, when's just generally better for you and Montine? Is it like weekdays or weekends? Oh man, I don't know. No, dude, I get it. I totally get it. But like just generally, just on a normal week, when's better? Weekdays? Okay. Right. So like beginning of the week or end of the week? Probably beginning of the week. Yeah, like Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday? Sweet. Like 5 o'clock or six, morning or afternoon, afternoon or evening. Start big and start narrowing it down with yes, yes questions, guys. Because once you get them to answer one question, you're on. As soon as they come back with you on just generally to one question, and you keep asking yes, yes questions, you're not going to get a no. If I don't ask you a question with a no answer and we're answering questions, you're not going to give me a no answer. You with me? Too many of you guys are saying, hey, what I'd really like to think about maybe showing you something, but when when's good for you? What's your schedule like this week? Oh, you don't want to? Okay, thanks, goodbye. That it's an exaggeration, but whose appointment setting did that generally sound like? And be honest in here, because if you don't tell me, I can't help you, right? Okay, so too many of you. So good, you're in the right place. You would agree. You would agree if that sounded more like you than you sound like me, you're in the right place, right? So we're going to get something great out of this. We got 30 more minutes. So we're going to work on that. We're going to work on that. So guys, overcoming objection is the most important thing after after learning the original appointment setting script. Okay? You have to learn how to overcome that objection, and you have to be comfortable with a firm answer close, and then you have to be really comfortable being told no in the beginning. Guys, people are spring loaded to no. They don't even understand why, right? Think about it. You ask your spouse, hey, what do you want to do for dinner? I don't care. Just pick something. That's a no. People are spring loaded to not give you a positive response. You have to help them, and you have to ask very, very specific questions to get them to that response, right? So help them along the way. That's why we only ask yes questions when we want yes answers, and that's why we only ask no questions when we want no answers. Have you guys caught on to that yet? Like when we ask like outside of yourself, who's handling your money, who's handling your life insurance and investments outside of work? I want a no answer, so I ask a no question. But generally, I want a yes answer because I want a whole lot of agreement the entire time. You with me? Okay. So let's jump back into this really quick. Most people in the very, very beginning of the business don't want to set appointments because they have this irrational fear that if they set appointments in the beginning, they are not going to have anyone left to sell to when they're licensed. Tell me I'm wrong. Who does that sound like? Does that sound like anybody right now in the Zoom chat? Or did that sound like you in the beginning? Guys, think about this. The people that come at you with that sort of response say, a firm answer close, right? Hey, Dixie, listen, I totally get it. That's everyone's most common fear in the beginning. But if I could show you a system where naturally by training more agents, you will have clientele forever, that would be something that would make sense to you. Am I right? Because let's be honest, you didn't think you were going to come into this business and get like stone cold wealthy selling 5, 6, 7 policies to your cousins and 2 uncles and your brother and sister. Did you? Okay, perfect. Right. And nobody gets wealthy just selling 5 or 6 policies, right? There has to be a system, there has to be a process. So if I can teach you the process and you can learn to duplicate, you would agree that I've had great success. So if I can show you how to duplicate this process, there's no reason that if you're duplicating, you shouldn't have the same success at some point. Am I right? Perfect. So guys, in the beginning, it's not about selling. It's about showing. But if you never put a field trainer in front of someone to show them what we do, one, you rob that person of the opportunity to potentially save money, find out that what they have is not great and they could have had something way better, right? And then you rob yourself of reps and sets, meaning you don't get to see a field trainer in action. Well, if you never see a live appointment and all of a sudden you have a license and now you are supposed to go run appointments, do you know what to do? Do you feel effective? Do you feel trained? Do you feel ready? Well, probably not. Guys, my only goal in the beginning was at the time 15 by 15 a couple of years ago was 80% contract. I looked at the little contract and said, well, if that's the most money that I can make before I'm a regional vice president, that's the contract I want from the very beginning. 15 by 15. 15 appointment. And it was harder back then because spouse apps were together and the most production that you could ever get out of one appointment was 1500 AP. You guys have it easy. You can sit down and knock out 3000 AP in one appointment with the right client. You with me? Guys, it's crazy. It's crazy. So look, if you have a goal, set the goal. And if it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. If some of you are looking at the like fast start and you're going, oh, 3 by 3, I'm in. Well, if you know you can do it, guys, it's not a goal. Maybe that's your like intermediate goal. It's not a stretch goal. It's not something that you could fit someone else's dream into. It's not big enough. Right. So in the beginning, we're all about showing. Put me in front of somebody, let me show them what we do. Right. If they decide not to be clients, that's on me. Your job as a brand new person and your brand new people's job is to set some appointments. So go set the appointment, guys. Okay. Check this out. Most people fail in Primerica not from a lack of skill, but because they're too afraid to go get into a market. That's it. And they're too afraid to ask for help. So, straight up. Straight up. That's what happens, guys. People get so concerned about what everyone else thinks that they don't ever worry about what's good for them. And they are so focused on, oh gosh, Bob and Susan are gonna think I'm trying to sell them something. I don't want them to feel that way. Wrong. Quit it. Quit. What if Bob and Susan are paying $1,000 a month for $250,000 of life insurance, and you could have come along 2 years ago and shown them that $250,000 in life insurance should only cost them like 150, and you could have been saving them $850 a month for 2 years, but you were too chicken to call them. And since you were too chicken to call them and put your field trainer in front of them, they've been under the impression that they've been covered correctly, when I would argue that they've been drastically underinsured and overpaying. You would agree. Guys, that's real math from an IUL that I replaced, I don't know, a year ago, roughly. It's gross. Gross. They each had $250,000 in coverage, and they were paying about $1,000 a month total. I said, what in the good God is going on? Thank God they had not had it for very long. They had like literally been sold it like 2 months ago when we got together. It was gross. Anyway, don't get me down that rabbit hole. We'll be there forever. But look. Setting hot market appointments, guys. You have to set it up on your trainer's appointment calendar. It's going to look like a free quote, financial consultation. It's going to look something like that. You have to go set that appointment, guys. It starts in your hot and warm market. This is a hot and warm market business. If you try to pick up the phone and like just start dialing out of the phone book, you're in the wrong place. No, you need to call friends, family, people that support you, people that care about you, people that are going to do you a favor. Why do you think we call it a wedding list? Guys, you wouldn't put somebody in your wedding that's going to be like your maid of honor, best man, bridesmaids, groomsmen that doesn't care about you. Am I right? So if they care about you, you conversely should then care about them. You should want to know that their life insurance, their retirement planning, everything that they've got going on, they should at least know that you have access to those things. And if they should ever need it in the future, they know where to go. But if you never get in front of them and you never show them what we do, and they're out getting raked over the coals on fees and God knows what, and you find out 2-3 years later that they've been overpaying, how are they going to feel about you knowing that you could have saved them money 3 years ago and you never told them? You never showed them. Goes right back to, we are all too worried about what someone else thinks versus us being more concerned about their actual welfare. I'm speaking to somebody, and I know I am, guys. So call these freaking people. Call these people. Get in front of these people. Look, hot market referrals, guys. These are the people that are going to give you referrals in the future. You go help somebody, give them something that they didn't have, fix something that was broken, potentially change their life by teaching them how to start investing now versus waiting 10 years and losing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in compound interest. Guys, you are going to change their lives. You're going to have such happy clients that are going to send you referrals forever. Assuming you ask for the referral, right? A bunch of us ain't asking for the referrals either. So we got to fix that. But guys, you have to get in front of people or you're never going to have referrals. It's never going to happen. If they don't know what you're doing, you're never going to have referrals, guys. So check this out. Some of us right now, especially in the very, very beginning, we think I'm just going to get licensed and I'm going to figure this out on my own, and then I'll get into my own hot and warm market. But why would you wait? Guys, why would you wait? And I'm gonna kill the presentation here for a second. Why would you wait and try to figure it out on your own when it's going to be harder, when in the beginning someone else is willing to do the work for you? Stay with me now. Stay with me. If your only job is to set the appointment and your field trainer is going to run it, your field trainer is going to do the paperwork, your field trainer is responsible for the quality call and all of the follow-up and all of the paperwork, and you're going to get a bonus out of it and a promotion, increasing commission that's locked in forever. And trained. Where's the downside? What you have, there's one policy that you aren't able to write now? Guys, go get in the field. Go set some appointments. I dare you. I dare you to call 100 people and just get used to the word no. I dare you. I I promise you. How's that? This sounds better, right? I promise you that if you call 100 people, one, 100 more people will know about what you're doing that didn't know about it before. So you're already ahead. Two, out of those 100 people, I mean, I'll be ridiculously negative. Only 10 of them are going to say yes. Only 10. Only 10. If you get really efficient with an appointment setting script, there's no reason that you shouldn't be on and off the phone with one person within 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 200 minutes. 200 calls. 3 hours. Some of you don't have 10 appointments on your calendar between now and the end of the month. Who can spend 3 hours tomorrow calling 100 people to set at least 10? And I'm being super negative, guys, saying only 10 people are going to do it. Guys, 10 people out of 100 will be like, no, I'll set the appointment just so you shut up. Right? Come on, guys. And here's the most important thing that's going to happen out of that. Well, there's a lot of important things. One, you're going to get used to no. And you're going to realize that you got told no 90 times and you didn't die. You didn't die. You're going to be okay. Right? You might have to you might have to pick yourself up after like the first three or four, but after five or six, you're not going to care. You're not going to care. Call the people. Call the freaking people. All right. I know coming out of this that our team will likely run an appointment setting contest. Here's how it generally works. You set 5 appointments with a qualified couple, right? Or a qualified client, meaning they're married or have kids or both, right? So 4 or 5 pointers. And you set 5 of those, your trainer will likely Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, Cash App, Apple Cat, whatever, right? Whatever transfer system you like, $25. You set 10, 75 more. You set 20, 200. Or some version of that, right? That's their money. They're going to pay you because if you go set 20 qualified client appointments, half of them will stick, right? Half of them will reschedule. Get that through your head right now. It's okay. Half of them will still stick. And then out of those 10 that stick, likely half of those will close. That's the math, guys, right? So here's how it really works. You probably call 100 people. You set 20 appointments. Out of those 20 appointments, 10 confirm and stick without some sort of rescheduling. And then out of those 10, you should be closing at least, I mean, really 80% of those, but half. But that's 5 qualified client appointments that you're going to close, guys. That's roughly 10,000 in premium. You with me? You see why we set appointments? Do you see why we field train? So listen, the biggest objections that you're going to get, right? These are the most common ones. I got to talk to Bob. I don't know my schedule. I'm too busy, right? I'm all set. Those are the most common ones. So if you know those are the most common ones, you need to start role playing overcoming those so that when you get it, you're not sitting there like, "Ugh," and you go into vapor lock on the phone and then you don't know what to say. Guys, you have to sound smooth. You got to sound fluid. And if you've never practiced or rehearsed it, it's never going to happen. Do you think Tom Brady would just show up on a field on Sunday and throw touchdowns? No, that dude had put in tens of thousands of hours from the time he was like 8 years old. Some of you have been in this business for like 8 minutes and you're wondering why you're not like God's gift to Primerica yet. You just haven't put in the work. You haven't put in the time. Somebody please be honest with me right now and tell me that they've put in every possible minute of every day, of every week, of every month, and they've put in 100% effort into this business. If you can tell me that and you're still not being successful, maybe we need to redefine 100%. There's always a catch, guys. There's always a catch, right? So this is I'm not kidding, right? This is the most important skill that you can ever learn because so much of our business stems from everything that we do when it comes to appointment setting. You learn just generally, open to. You learn overcoming an objection, right? And it all happens in like at the most 2.5 minute period. If you're spending more than 3 minutes on the phone with somebody, you're not setting an appointment. You're just BSing. And at that point, you're not setting an appointment anyway, because it's like you're starting to blur the lines, right? You called for a reason, set the appointment, get off the phone. Otherwise, you're going to start babbling and start running down things. Okay. The last thing I'll leave you with, and I'll answer any questions you got in the last 10 minutes. If you guys are trying to set appointments over a text message, you're missing it. It's never going to happen. How many of you right now are trying to set appointments over text message and just getting left on red? Man, just me? Only one. Here's a better question. How many of you tried it and got left on red? Everybody, right? Because we all do. Nobody wants to call. If you don't call that person, the odds of you actually setting that appointment are so slim, it's ridiculous. You have to set the appointment on the phone or in person and just book it, right? So what questions do you guys have? What objections have you gotten that are like outside the norm? I can't remember who said earlier, I have a question. It was an interesting name though. I'll scroll back. I have a question. Rayleigh Ann Laughlin.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on just a second. Can you hear me?
Barely.
Okay. Hold on.
No pressure. There's only 170 people listening to you.
Okay, there we go.
There you go. What's up?
So, I have people on my waiting list that I think would be acceptable to doing an appointment and stuff.
Mhm.
But I think that when it comes down to talking about their financial side of things, they might be a little skeptical to doing that in front of me.
Okay.
How would you go about doing that?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you prejudging the client?
Yes.
Have you even asked them about setting the appointment?
No.
Are you creating a problem before there's an actual problem?
Yeah.
Game over.
Okay.
Quit. Quit doing that.
Okay.
You're not alone, and I'm not attacking you.
Yeah, I understand.
I ask very blunt, direct questions because it gets to the point very quickly, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody does exactly what you're doing. Guys, we just like we start spooling and spiraling in our brains, and we create problems that don't exist.
Okay.
Raylene, has anyone, am I saying your name correctly?
Yeah.
Has anyone ever told you they're not willing to sit down and talk to you about their finances?
No.
So you're making an assumption without ever even asking a question and being confirmed your fear.
Yeah, I have had one where they were like, when we were on an appointment with my field trainer, they said to me specifically, don't repeat any of this.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, this is sort of like a lawyer's office or a psychology clinic. Like whatever goes on between you, me, and these Zoom walls stays between us. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Awesome. Right. So, because I would never disclose your information to anyone that's not you or your spouse. I mean, you understand that, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Because that's my job. Like I work for you when we're
Mm.
together, but your information doesn't belong to anybody else.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
Perfect. Awesome.
Thank you.
Great question though, because I promise you, everyone else is creating problems too, and they're just like spiraling, right? Brooklyn, what's up, bro?
Hi. So I know you said call,
Mhm.
but I don't have a lot of people like in my phone like list. So
Perfect.
if you have them on Messenger,
Yeah.
tried calling by Messenger, but that hasn't worked. How would you go about that?
Okay. So you have them on Messenger, right? You're chatting with that person on Messenger. Have you asked for their phone number?
Sometimes if I'm like setting a recruit appointment, but no, not when I'm just chatting.
No, I'm with you, right? So let's back up because remember, we're talking about hot and warm market people for setting a client appointment, right?
Right.
So if you have a hot, warm market person, but you don't have their phone number, are they actually that hot or warm?
I guess not.
So give me an example. Who are you trying to set an appointment with that you don't have their phone number?
I guess just people I've had on my friends list on Facebook that like have families and stuff
Okay.
that
I'm with
I've
you. Hold
spoken.
on. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Sorry.
I love the direction that you're going because
Okay.
you're working for activity. Well, we need to back up because in the beginning, your job is to go with hot and warm market people. These are people that know you, love you, trust you, are willing to help you, support you, and you're literally asking for a favor, right? So if you're reaching out to essentially people that are strangers, I mean, you're in like the coldest of warm market, and they're only warm because you're friends on Facebook. That is not how the beginning works. You guys with me on that? You're like setting yourself up to get punched in the face with your hands behind your back. It's not a fair fight. You're not trying to set a hot or warm market appointment. You're going to get punched and you're going to get like the Tyson punch out because you can't win that fight. You might get lucky, right? But you're not going into the right environment. Guys, you need to be calling your mom, your grandma, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your best friend from volleyball, your best friend from those are the people that you're going after initially because they're the ones that are going to answer the phone. They're the ones that you have phone numbers in your phone for already. Natasha, exactly. Guys, if you don't have a phone number, they're not hot market. Let's be real. It's true, right? That doesn't mean at some point they won't become hot market, but I'm saying like the ones we're going after right now, hot market. In the beginning for your new people, hot market. The very first appointment should be the spouse, or if they don't have one of those, who is the most important person to you that is going to support you the most? That's the person that I want to talk to, that I want to show what you're doing. Because let's be honest, if I can show them what you're doing and it makes a lot of sense to them, Brooklyn, how much more comfortable do you think you're going to feel going forward, knowing that your mom, spouse, brother, sister, best friend, Jimmy loves everything that you do? You're going to be fired up, girl. You're going to be ready to roll, right? Some of you guys are trying to go on a hot market appointment with somebody that you met in high school 38 years ago. Guys, that's cold as ice. You're trying to get on an iceberg appointment. You might as well just pick up the phone and hit somebody at like Napa Know How and see if they'll show up. That ain't it. Stephanie Letka. Letka go. Let's go. What's up?
Like a goal. That's good. Um,
Told you,
so
Andy. Andy Sauce, right? What you got?
I have am having a hard time getting couples on
Okay.
because they're running one to a basketball game and one over here and one dance class, one over here. So do you have any tips how to get the couples on together?
Yeah. Tell them that if they're not both there, you don't get credit for the appointment. Hey, Stephanie, listen, as far as us getting together, when's a good time for you and Bob to both be together? Stephanie, I need your involvement. I can't.
Oh, well, that's hard because Bob comes home so late.
I totally get it. Like there are nights where I don't get home until like 10 o'clock sometimes after football. I totally understand that, Stephanie. But I mean, for you, like if Bob's coming home that late, is after 10 a good time for you and Bob to be home at the same time?
Well, not really because I'm putting the kids to bed and I'm pretty tired.
Perfect. I love that. When do the kids go to bed just generally on a normal night?
10 o'clock.
Perfect. So somewhere around 10:30, what's better for you guys generally? Is that like weekdays around 10:30? Is that a normal schedule for you?
Um, yes.
Perfect. So listen, I'm going to pencil you in for Friday or Saturday. Which one's better? 10:30 on Friday, yeah?
Well, how about we try Saturday?
Saturday. Hey, I love Saturday, right? So 10:30 on Saturday, I'm going to pencil you in. Make sure you and Bob are both there. You get a Zoom link from my trainer. It's actually going to be my regional vice president that runs the appointment for us. So, like Stephanie, you wouldn't make me look bad in front of my new VP and not have Bob there, would you?
Oh no, you're my friend. I wouldn't do that.
Awesome. I knew I could count on you. Listen, I'll see you guys Saturday at 10:30, right? I know it's gonna be late. Don't worry, right? I'll bring coffee. We'll be fine. I'll see you Saturday at 10:30. It's on Zoom. You'll get the link. If something changes between now and then, call me and we'll get it fixed and we'll get it adjusted for you. But other than that, I'll see you Saturday at 10:30, okay?
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Awesome. Thanks for I love you. Bye. Off the phone. They're going to tell you when it's good, right? Like if they tell you that I can't do it because I got to put the kids, great, I love it. Kids got to sleep. Perfect. Get them idiots in bed. What they got to sleep. Now they're in bed. Now we're setting the appointment. Woo! I'm on fire. Come on, Kristen, what do you got? Kristen Summers, your hands up. You're the only one named Kristen Summers, I believe, on the entire Zoom chat. I'm with you, girl. Come on.
Sorry, I was trying to get my mute off. Okay. So I had this issue back in August.
Okay. I love August.
A friend of mine, I called her. We got her appointment scheduled, and then she never showed up for the Zoom, and
Okay.
I have not been able to get a hold of her since. And I've tried Facebook messaging and I tried calling her.
Okay.
Both.
If you set an appointment with, stay with me. If you set an appointment with someone who you thought was a friend, and then since then, for 2 months, they've ghosted you, won't return a call, were they ever actually a friend?
Nope.
Bless and release. I'll see you on the Facebooks. Love you. Bye.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm with you. Some of us hang on to people so long, they become the anchor to your boat. Now every boat needs an anchor. I'll give you that. It needs one. And it's a purposeful tool. But if you guys are hanging on to people from months ago that said they would help you and they are not helping you and they are not responding, they're not engaging with you, y'all are beating your head against the wall. And you need to just let it go. Those are not your people. Love her where she is, but you got to let her go. She ain't coming back. Guys, if she hasn't answered you in 2 months and you keep reaching, you just became the annoying, selling friend. Quit. Because if you keep going after that person that wants nothing to do with you, you're going to poison the rest of the well. And then every time you start to reach out to her, the only thing she's ever going to want or ever going to think is that you want something. That's it. Let it go. No, they don't need to be sitting side by side, guys. That's the beauty of Zoom. I don't care if the husband's not there. That knucklehead can get on a freaking Zoom call. We meet with clients all over the dang country. Come on. Leslie Wagner, you were up first. Then Jason, you're next.
Hey, do we have a verbiage for like if we've been in the business for a while for the KPs, other than I'm in training, yada yada yada. I mean, for like our waiting list to change over to, like once we've been doing it a while. Do we have a set verbiage for that? Sometimes I find myself not really.
I'm with you, right? There are too many variables in what you just said to give you a set verbiage, right? Because I could call you about an investment. I could call you about leadership. I could call you about home and auto, right? Change the angle.
Okay.
Change the angle. Are you investment licensed yet?
No, that's what I'm working on. I will feel much more comfortable when those two go together. But
So here's something I'll give you then, right? If you're not investment licensed yet and you have life insurance clients that you never got in front of an investment licensed person, right? Hey, Leslie, it's Noah, girl. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Hey, I'm amazing. I'm actually working on some investment licensing now. I know we got together, a while ago and we fixed your life insurance for you, right? So one, everything good? Do we need to update anything? Do we need to make any changes? You had any more babies in the last 3 months? That would be weird, I know, but maybe, right? No.
No.
Hey, listen, we never really even got to talk about your retirement planning and investments, and that's the next license that I'm working on right now. I would love to sit down with you and Bob and get you in front of our investment specialists and see if we can maybe save you guys some money on fees or just take a look. It would really help me out because that's the next license I'm working on. I mean, as far as us getting together for that, when's better for you guys? Like tomorrow or Saturday?
Saturday.
Did I just bless your life? I just
I'm
opened
sorry.
I just opened
Oh
the
yeah.
door to you with every client you've ever sat in front of.
Yes. Good
Every single
idea.
one.
Good idea.
It's the only kind I have. Jason, what's up, buddy?
Yeah,
I'm kidding. Man, I'm just laying them down, and y'all ain't even laughing anymore. This is just, guys.
So,
It's after 9. Hold on, Jason. Give me 3 seconds.
okay.
It's after 9. If you're not seeing value, you can bounce. I love it. Go for it. But I will stick around for probably 17 more minutes, just in case. Jason, what's up, dude?
Yeah, so I had a person a while back on Messenger that I was trying to get some training in, and I told him, hey, I told him the script of what was going on. I said, hey, I need to get down with a couple people. Would you be able to help me out with this? And he responded back and he said, yeah, I'll be able to help you. And then he said, wait a minute, are you guys trying to sell me something here? I already have life insurance policies. I don't want no more plans. And I'm said, well, I would like to help you to see if I can get you a better rate. And that's
Nope.
okay.
Because as soon as you saying that you want to help him get a better rate, you're selling him something.
So that's why he said,
Right. Exactly. Right. Hey, Frank, listen, I love that you're all set. That's amazing. Most of the people that I meet have nothing. I love that you're all set. When was the last time you had a second opinion on the stuff that you actually have right now?
none.
Hey, Frank, if you've never had a second opinion on what you have, how long has it been since you took those policies out? Guys, people don't know what they have. They don't know what they have, and they don't know what they have, right? Even if they say they have something, they don't know what they have, right?
Yeah.
Frank, if we could sit down, listen, I'm not trying to sell you anything, dude. This is for my training. I would love it if you actually brought that policy and let my field trainer just look at it and explain it to you so I could learn. Would you be open to learning more about your policy?
And then he blocked me on Facebook after that.
Well, yeah, but back to my original point, right? Guys, if you're getting blocked by that person, let it go.
Yeah.
But the way I just explained it is a way to overcome that. The other way is to just put it right out there on like in the beginning and just say, Frank, dude, do you think I'm trying to sell you something? Dude, I'm not trying to sell you something. I just need to get some training in. My trainer is going to show you what we do. And if you can use any of it, great. Because it's way more than just life insurance. Because here's the problem. If he's like responding to you about life insurance, you're talking about life insurance while you're trying to set the appointment. And you're not just asking for help. It's the most common problem, right?
And then he was asking me, and then when I said that I got a new job, he was asking me like, what was the name of the job? And then I told him what the company was, and then he said, oh, that's a scam. Why do people automatically say that's a scam when that company has been in business for a long time?
Because people are narrow-minded. They believe everything they read on a Reddit. And instead of actually asking someone that knows about the business, they would rather scroll and trust trolls on Reddit. That's why, unfortunately. So Jason, like honestly, dude, you got to let that guy go and you got to move on and you got to work on your appointment setting script and not talking about life insurance up front. It's the biggest problem that most people have. Okay. I appreciate it, man. Guys, what other questions are out there that I can help with? I have not been monitoring the Zoom chat, so I am possible. Or I am sorry. Somebody asked about like canceling old policies. No, the client has to do that. If you try to call another financial institution and you're not the policy owner, they're not going to talk to you. So help the client, let them know what they would need to do, but like the client needs to cancel that policy. What else you got, guys? Any other questions? IUL, they want to set one up for their 6-year-old. Should be your own bank. I know they're junk. How would you respond? So IULs. All right. So Amy, pop up. Where are you? Guys, in the Zoom chat right now, who knows what an IUL is? That's new, right? Like Nicole, I don't need you to respond. I know you know IULs. So Indexed Universal Life Policy, right? The whole TikTok trend and craze of be your own bank and IUL and blah, 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 right? So everybody thinks that that's what they want because it sounds really cool on TikTok. And it sounds really cool when some guy's showing you a spreadsheet really fast and numbers are zooming by, and then he zooms to the bottom, and 80 years later, there's $100 million in there. Am I right? Guys, an index universal life policy is quite literally like the worst financial product out there. It's worse than whole life because in every single IUL policy, the insurance inside of it is renewable term after a certain point. It will get so expensive at some point that it will eat itself. It is the wrong thing. I would have to run a completely different training on that. If somebody wants that policy, right? If they want that thing, Amy, your best bet is to say, listen, Susan, I love that you want to prepare for the future for your child. Affirm, right? You can't come out and attack her because you're just going to get a Heisman in the face and they're going to block you, right? So affirm, answer, close, guys. It never stops. Listen, I love that you want to prepare for the future for your child. Would you be open to sitting down with one of our investment specialists and letting them explain to you what that policy is and show you how it actually works? What is she going to say? She already said she wants it. Will you let one of our investment specialists sit down and show you how it works? Yeah.
Yeah.
I want that thing, right? So yeah, show me how it works. Then you get them on the appointment, you show them how it works, and you show them it's hot, stinking trash, and you show them why they should open a custodial Roth or an UTMA account for them, put a mutual fund inside of it, and let that thing grow forever as an actual investment that's not tied to life insurance. Because instead of them putting $100 a month into that thing for an IUL, which will eventually get more expensive, doesn't pay dividends, they're not actually invested in any asset. There's no underlying actual mutual fund. It's just tracking an index, meaning they don't get dividends if the fund that they would have had pays it. Guys, there's so much that goes on. It's wild and it's gross.
I literally heard the commercial right after he said that. I'm like, I hadn't heard, be your own bank. And I literally, like, the very next day or 2 days later, heard the commercial. Be your own bank, borrow from your cash value and still earn interest on the cash value that you've borrowed from. And I'm like, I don't know how, it just sounded horrendous, but I was curious on how best to kind of respond. I told him, let me get some more information. And so then I guess just maybe connect with Suzanne because I think she's securities. She's my upline, my RVP.
All of your regional vice presidents are securities licensed guys, and they are the ones that you should be putting in front of that client for 2 reasons. One, you get in front of that client, that's your person with your RVP, and you get trained on securities related material. You see it in real life. When you're going to study, it's way easier to study something that you've seen in person and you understand. Now you have a potential client that's going to be a client with investments with Primerica. When you get your securities license, Suzanne will then transfer that client back to you. Okay. Assuming the client is amenable to it, right? Because the client gets a vote. So guys, I'm gonna stop the recording because I don't want this thing to be so large that it won't actually